Hi and welcome. I'm Mary Jo, also known as Sojo, and this is my channel where I talk about all my quilty stitchy things. This is my weekly update number 16. Today is Mother's Day, Sunday, May 14th. Now, I know I normally post my weekly updates on Saturday. I'm a day late. That's because I had some other plans and I was invited to do something, which I'll talk about that in a minute. But let's talk about my channel. This week I posted part 5 of my completed quilts trunk show, and I'll be posting part 6 this week. So I still have many more parts to go. I know I still have a bunch of quilts from my extra bedroom, and I have all my Christmas quilts that are in the attic. I'm just waiting for my husband to get them down before I do that. I also know I've got my Hooked on Socks Lether Co box coming, so I'll be doing an unboxing once I get that. So yesterday I was invited to go shopping at the next state over with my cousin and my mom, so we went to a couple quilt shops. Now, surprisingly, I didn't buy anything, but I did come home with stuff. Let me show you what I got. So I went with, like I said, my mom and my 2 cousins, and my mom ended up buying me some stuff. So, free fabric, right? So, first of all, we went to Polar Fabrics, and I got these 5-yard bundle kits. And they come with free patterns, which was a Jacob's Ladder is the one I got, and this boxed in pattern. So these are like $42, I think, somewhere around there. So I'll be making that. Now, I was really eyeing getting one of the new Tulip Pink Evergo collection fat quarter bundle. However, I just couldn't justify spending that much money when I already have all this other fabric. So I've been looking at it. Who knows? Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't. But I did decide not to yesterday. Now, we also took a trip to another store, which was Nancy's Fancy Sewing Quarter, and I bought some more of these. These are half-yard bundles, but I got this one, this one, this one, and this one. Now, they did come with free patterns too, but I can't really show you those because I got all the directions on them. So I was originally going to buy this one, and this one. I also liked this one. So my mom ended up grabbing it and was going to buy it. But then when I got to the counter to buy my 3, she ended up buying all of them for me. So, hey, thanks, Mom. So I actually didn't buy anything. Amazing. Now, at the time of this recording, I have 459 subscribers, which is just wow. I didn't even think anybody would listen to me. So I now have 459 subscribers, but I'm getting close to that 500 mark. And when I do, I'm going to be giving a giveaway. My first giveaway. Now, this is going to be open to internationally, so everybody can get in on this giveaway. Okay, so enough with that. Let's talk about what I completed during the week. Let's talk about, this is a previous finish. I don't know where the pattern came from, but there it is. We will take a look at the backing and the quilting. So this is the look at the quilting from this previous finished quilt. And it looks like I used that whimsy or whipsy pattern pantograph again. And this is the back of that quilt. Let's take a look at the label. I've got a lot of little threads on the back of here. And there's my label, and it was finished in 2019. That black makes it hard to see, but that was the quilting. So this is the quilt that I quilted this week. Here we go. Trying to get a little bit better look at it. Now this is a pattern from Corey Yoder from Coriander's Quilts, and it is the Woodland Froglet quilt. So when I quilted it, I found this pantograph from Urban Elements called Baby Woodland Critters. And there's a little fox, hedgehog or porcupine, and there's a little rabbit on there. I know there's not a rabbit in the quilt, but that's okay. It still works. It's still critters. So I'll bring you in and take a closer look at that quilting. So here's a look at my fox. It's kind of sideways a little bit. And there's the rabbit there beside it. And there's the little hedgehog or porcupine. I'm not sure which, but it's there. And there's another fox right there. There's the nose, an eye, another eye. Take it out. There's the tail. Trying to see if I can get another good fox. I don't know if you can see all the way up there. There's another fox, and there's a fox. All right, so that's the quilting. So this is the back of this quilt. Now on this quilt, I decided to do something a little different, and that was make a pieced backing. So all the extra fabric that I had from making it, I just put it together any way I could, and I ended up with this backing. We'll bring you in and take a closer look. So here's the backing. Yep, there's a hedgehog that's sticking out pretty good, as well as the fox up above it and the rabbit. So there's that piece backing. So that is what I quilted this week. Now let's talk about piecing. What did I piece? So I worked on 2 Creative Notions projects. I've got all of these flying geese made and these other units to do that. And I'm going to make this block because this came in a previous Creative Notions box. This was the April 2021 box. And then once I make all of these, I'm going to put it into a quilt top. Now I know the original pattern I think was like a sewing machine mat and that kind of stuff. I didn't like that. Well, I didn't want to make that anyway. And since this subscriber block came in it, I decided to use all those fabrics and make that. So those are those units. Got some like that. Got some of those. So I have all of those pinned together and ready to sew. Now I did work on another Creative Notions project. which is the May 2021. And this family tree wall hanging. So this is just a panel and then some borders around. And then using printer and some fabric and things, I'm going to print some pictures out to post on this tree and hang it up. So I added another border here, side border. Just the panel. Got that first border all the way around. And now I've got this side border. Just pinned both sides. So I can sew that side border down. And then add the top border. And then the actual wall hanging would be done. Then I have to start working on trying to figure out if I can get those pictures printed on those papers. And even if that doesn't work, I still have a wall hanging that I can quilt. Right? Right. Okay, the next thing we worked on is a sew sampler project, which is the unraveled quilt pattern. And I just have a bunch of flying geese here that I'm starting on. I've got the first side done. Got these pinned on so I can sew down, pull it back, and make my flying geese units. And then all that too. More flying geese. So I worked on that project. And then I also worked on this Jello salad quilt pattern that has these pandas fabric on that. I really like the panda fabric. So all the half square triangles were sewn, which I've showed that before. So I did sew all of those half square triangles and rectangles into rows. And now I have all those rows pinned together. So I need to finish sewing those rows into the quilt top and do a border. So let's see if I can hold this up here a little bit, and we'll go down and show you the greens, do some pinks. Down to the blues and green again. And then this is just a small border of that green print. Now I also worked on this Lazy Daisy pattern. Now this is one of the 5-yard bundle pack kits that I had bought from Polar Fabrics that I had shown at the beginning. This is the same thing. It's another 5-yard bundle pack that I got there. So I worked on these little units. I had previously sewn the floor patch, so I sewed this strip, and now I have all of these pinned down, ready to take to the sewing machine and sew those down. So I have those units ready. And these were the other units that I had previously done. So once all these are sewn together, I can start using these and putting that quilt top together. Got all of those there. And all of those. Now, one other thing that I worked on as far as quilting and piecing goes is another sew sampler project. And it is the leaves quilt pattern. So, I worked on sewing these together, which is the bottom part of those leaves. This is the stem. And then I sewed these together. So, it will all go together. Something like that to make that leaf block. Of course, those will be the same fabrics, but you get the idea. So I've got all of those units and all those units. So I need to press all those and pin those together. But that's everything I did as far as quilting and piecing. Now let's move on to what I did in cross stitch this week. I actually FFO'd an object, which is fully finished an object. So this was the Stitch Quarterly that I got, I think in March. So I went ahead and put it on this little round wood board, and I have it hanging on my wall. So I finished that. And let's talk about my cross stitch project. This is where I'm at. I'll show you the pattern again. The Christmas Big Band Sampler. I am right here working on this train, but I still have all of that to go. Let me unclip it. And I'm using just DMC floss. A17 I believe is the color, and this is a 16 count Ada. But there we go. There's where I am working on that train. And yes, this project is going to be done in 2 separate pieces. So I'm still working on the first one, the first piece. That's where I am for cross stitch. Now, my crochet sweater I'm working on here. Let me get it, pull the picture up. There it is. I'm working on this orange marmalade shell. So, I finished the back panel. This is just that back panel. Finished that. And now I'm working on the front panel. As far as I got so far. So, we'll get that all together. So what else have I worked on? Well, let's go take a look at that diamond painting. So this is where I am on my diamond painting. Making progress. To show you what the actual picture will look like. So that's what that picture will look like when it's done. Okay, so that's everything I've worked on this week. Like I said, part 6 of my completed quilt trunk show will be coming out this week. Till next time, bye!